Hey guys, I'm Corey, the art archaeologist, and welcome to dig number 8 of 8 digs in the jelly plate excavation. And this dig is called Layer It Up. I've really wanted to do this kind of art right here for a long time. And I have found that when I let myself go and I let my brush just go for it without thinking about what I'm doing, it is the funnest way to create art. And the jelly plate gives you this opportunity to layer up all of these different elements and really just let yourself be free creatively. So this is what ended up coming up out of this dig, and I'm going to show you step by step. I'm going to create this on film with you, and then I wanted to show you this one as well, and I'm going to create this one on film with you too. I had a lot of problems with this one. It tore a bunch, but it still came out gorgeous. I was able to save it. I really like it. So I did the work to save it, and so I'm going to show you this segment of this dig just to show you what to do when things really go wrong. So another detail about these two is this, I pulled the print with regular plain old cheap printer paper and it went great. And then this I pulled with Canson mixed media, and I'm continuing to have problems pulling prints with Canson mixed media paper. I love this paper for eco dyeing. I love this paper for doing all kinds of artwork on. But when it comes to the jelly plate, it's great for pulling inks and fluid acrylics and watercolor off of your jelly plate. This paper is great for that. But for pulling a layered acrylic print like this, I would not use it. So there's my tip of advice to you. This cheap copy paper worked beautifully. So also one more thing here. I got a little lazy. I wanted my background to be black, gray, and white, and I wanted it to be more of a fluid blend like it is right here. Well, I didn't get that because I got lazy and I put the paint itself on the plate. And you know, I generally like to have my other plate over on this side and blend my background colors separately and then apply them, but I found that you run the risk of pulling layers up when you do that, so that's why I went ahead and just put it directly on. It ended up being really cool. I got this gray marking down here and I got these on here, and I think they really add to the piece, but my original idea was to have them all blended and that did not happen. Another thing I did too was I did a bunch of this red color spatter on this corner only, and had I thought it through a little bit better, it just didn't show up hardly at all with the black over it. So it's tricky to do layered paintings like this on the jelly plate, but you find that your skills really shoot through the roof when you push yourself to do this kind of work, because then you're like, oh, okay, everything that's showing up has to be done, put on the plate first. Now, something else I love to do is add elements after you've done the jelly printing. So let's go ahead and get into this. So let's get into materials. I've got this real scratchy brush here, just a cheaper Artist's Loft brush for spatter. I've got a couple angled flat brushes. I always like to keep these handy, as well as a couple of rounds. I've got a 12 and a 2 here. I never concern myself much with, I just pick the size by eye is how I paint. I've got another straight flat, may use this, may not. And I've got this Japan inking ink brush, and I'm definitely using this. And then of course I've got my brayer for the top coat and my little palette plate, and I'm using my 8x10 jelly plate today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's this sheet pulled and it has some issues. It tore a bunch and came out really wonky, but I still think this is a savable painting. I think it's really cool. And so what I want to do is just touch it up here and there. I'm taking the white, the same Artist Loft white that I used for the background pull. And I'm just going to come in and white out some of these really blatant yucky spots, and then the paper tore really bad right here. So I'm going to white all of that out. I'm going to white out all the torn areas. And then I can always come in with the other colors of this and touch up or not, depending on how this comes out. Might come out really nice with just a little bit of white out